episode 3. Today we're going to be talking about use-bys and best befores. So I want to read you this first. It's the legislation that says of what actual use-bys and best befores are. And I'll point out some key things, so don't worry, it's not all boring. Dates marked gives a guide on how long food can be kept before it begins to deteriorate or may become unsafe to eat. The two types of date markings are use-bys and best befores. What's the difference? Well, the food supplier is responsible for placing a use-by date or best before date on foods. Food that must be eaten before a certain time of health and safety reasons should be marked by the use-by date. We'll stop there. The rest of it's mumbo-jumbo. I want to point out some key words there really quickly because it helps us gain a perspective that I have on this situation. The legislation's created all to keep you safe. So there's so many businesses out there like us, cafes, restaurants, pubs, clubs, food sales, retailers, all that sort of stuff. We must put a date on it, and we must have a use-by date because of health and safety risks. The legislation itself says it may become unsafe. It may begin to deteriorate. It has to have a certain time limit for health and safety reasons. This date because they may pose health and safety risks. It's all about keeping you safe. I believe there's enough food. Well, there is. It's not just my belief, but there is enough food in the world to feed everyone. No one has to go hungry, yet many do. Working in the restaurants and in hospitality as a chef for the last 12 years, I've seen so much food waste. In fact, I'll tell you this story. I worked for a company, not for long, because I didn't like the waste. But there's one particular day where we launched a new site. We just got a new contract, we launched the new site. There was a lot of prep, a lot of time that went into this. So there was heaps of food. We're talking about big bread trays full, just packed full of ready-made sandwiches, wraps, breakfast wraps, rolls, pizzas, just all prepped up, ready for the launch because you don't know how busy you are going to be. Now, this particular company had a rule, a 3-day rule. So anything that came in, high risk, meats, eggs, chickens, fish, all that sort of stuff, had a 3-day rule. No matter what the use-by date best before was on it, it was a 3-day rule. From the day we get it, we've got to sell it in 3 days. And if we don't, it goes in the bin. On the 3rd day of this launch, we threw out 25 kilos of ready-made food. The 4th day, which is when the next lot of prep came in, which lined to the last day of the prep, the 4th day of that site, we threw out another 15 kilos. That's 40 kilos of food waste in 2 days. It's not okay with me. See, when we throw away food, we're not just throwing away the item. We are throwing it away because we want to be safe, 100%. We're also throwing away the effort that it took to get it to you, the effort that it took for you to cook it, the effort that it took for somebody else to cook it. So, taking the time to learn how you can tell whether your food is off, getting the longevity out of your food is super important so you can save time and money at the same time. So as a chef, in my apprenticeship, I was never ever taught, I was taught the legislation, but I was never ever taught you read the use-by date. It wasn't in our course. We weren't told, hey, don't forget to pay attention to use-by dates. But here are 4 things I was taught. How to smell, how to touch, how to see, and how to taste. 4 senses that changed the way I viewed food and the time it went off. The dates are there for a reason, but also remember, the companies that are putting the dates on them, they do have to protect themselves. They do have to make sure you're getting fresh food, and also it's the time frame that they give you that it's not going to go off in there, so they can 100% guarantee when you eat their food, it's not going to be unsafe. Like the old saying that says, if in doubt, chuck it out, is really, really useful. If you actually know the senses to reduce that doubt. See, if I know this much, my doubt is going to be at this level. But if I know this much, my doubt is going to be at this level. What I want to do right now is fill that gap so you can doubt less and confidently throw out food that actually is off and cook food that's not off. Touch. You'll have a distinct touch on all foods that goes off. From vegetables to meats, they all gain a slime on them. Some things can be washed, and if it's still there, then obviously it's definitely off. But if you wash it, it could just be a juice that's on it. So these are another things that we take into consideration. Okay, so build that muscle. Touch it, feel it. Is it slimy? Is it sticky? Some things like sausages will go sticky because of the high fat content. Chicken breasts will go slimy. So will beef. Pork will go sticky as well. Sight. You'll be able to see when food starts to begin to deteriorate. Lettuce and all your salads and vegetables, they definitely begin to break down. You'll notice like things like tomatoes may go softer. That doesn't mean they can't be used, by the way, just because they're soft. It's the beginning of them. Put them in a sauce. Maybe don't put them on a sandwich or in a fresh salad. Lettuce will begin to grain. You'll see a slime, or it breaks down, or it might start going brown. Again, if it's brown, you can still use it. And number 4, I think we're up to 4, is the taste. Now, this is definitely not my favorite, but it is the most powerful. Confession of a chef. College teaches you better these principles than being trained in the kitchen does. My chef, man, I swear, sometimes I felt like they just wanted me to eat the food because they knew it was off. Mainly in the area of cooked foods, like you've made a soup, you've made a stock, you've made you've cooked something, and when we just go by days, it's very dangerous. We throw away a lot of food. But if you can gain and you just taste it, and you'll notice the difference from when you ate it fresh the other day to when you're eating it now, and you're like, that does have a weird taste. I don't think that's okay. Use your other senses, look at it, smell it, feel it, and you'll notice the difference. Most products that have a use-by date on them are the things that you're going to want to apply this to. Your best befores is simply a suggestion. It's to say this product at its best quality is better consumed before such and such date. A product with a use-by date is saying, guys, use it by this date. And this is where you apply the rules that I've just suggested to you. You don't have to, it's up to you. But I waste a lot less food using this. Smell it, touch it, look at it, and taste it. Observe how much food you waste. In fact, I've got a home chef course that I've developed. And I've put together a wastage form because we use them in commercial kitchens to see how much we're wasting, and it's super beneficial. So I've done one for the home to get you thinking. If you want that form, comment below or private message me, and I'll email you the document. You just print it out or keep it on your computer and edit it. And I recommend printing it out, putting it on your fridge. And just for a fortnight, document what you're throwing out. If you don't have the average weight, just average how much it weighs or how many grams or whatever millage it is. But write it down. Put the things that I've just suggested in this video into practice for the next fortnight. And see if your wastage goes down any. The cheapest steak you're going to buy, maybe from Woolies if you buy a roast again, is like $11.70 a kilo. So you've just saved almost $12 just by learning this principle. It's not a lot, but it adds up. Anyway, guys, comment below if you want that wastage form. It's super easy. It's a quick, easy document. I'll put a screenshot at the end of this so you can see it. It's super easy. Fill it out. Document for a fortnight. Even talk to me through the process, and I'll talk you through the next fortnight, and we'll do it together. But I believe you can minimize your wastage. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate your support on these videos. These episodes have been tops. I've really enjoyed giving you guys the knowledge that I've got. And stay tuned. There's some good stuff coming. Peace. Have a good one, guys.